It's a massive opportunity for us as players, and I think for the club in general to get our names etched in history.
Poder estar vivendo isso, como eu disse, pelo Corinthians, mostrando o futebol brasileiro, acho que vai ser um momento único e eu tenho certeza que vai ficar marcado para sempre.
To play here with the trophy on the line is extra special.
Então eu tenho certeza que o mundo está conhecendo a força do futebol brasileiro.
We'll be doing everything we can to win on Sunday.
Fighting talk from both camps, and this is what it means to be in the final. Arsenal's moment, taking the glory in that semi-final to win their way through. But who gets to make history? The Arsenal head coach, René Sleggers, has been chatting to Natalie.
It was very free-flowing against Asfar. Corinthians defended really well against Gotham. So what is important to take from your performance against Asfar to a team that already showed they can defend really deep?
I think we did a lot of things really well against Asfar. This is a new opponent. I think they're really good at harassing 1v1. They keep spaces tight when they get into their low block. So it will be really hard to break it down. Plus they have qualities to break out. So we'll have to put on a really, really good performance again and keep on developing ourselves, because it's a final and both teams deserve to be here. And I'm sure that Corinthians is going to do everything tonight.
Yeah, it is a final, so how much are you looking forward to the possibility of adding more silverware to this club?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I think Arsenal have been trailblazers for long, since they existed, and we want to be part of that as well. So we want to make history, but that's not just done automatically. We have to be very humble and go into this game with a lot of intensity, and yeah, of course we go to win the game to make history.
Good luck then.
Thank you.
Thank you, René. Thank you.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be a Corinthians fan right now? Rosella and Ness, of course, you're an Arsenal fan. But even the dances mean they're a bit warmer heading into this one.
Go up and sit in there with them, watch the game.
Yeah, how you were being adored by the Asfar fans earlier, I don't think you should go up there right now. But it is one of those things when you talk about what might give you that edge on the pitch. They're not going to be outsung by Arsenal.
No, they're not, and they're going to be fired up for this game. They know the occasion, and they're going to want to take the trophy back to South America. But, you know, from listening to the Arsenal players and listening to René, I think, you know, they know that they want to lift this trophy at the end of the night, and every player wants to put their name in history, and this is their chance to do that at home at the Emirates.
No better leader than to have Kim Little as well there.
She's the spine of Arsenal, in my opinion. She's actually quality. I don't really know if I've got the vocabulary to describe her. She's unbelievable, and having her in your team, it's such a force for Arsenal.
You don't need the vocabulary when you let the noise do the talking for you. The Emirates ramping up another notch. They are ready to see their team walk out onto the pitch again. The inaugural edition of the FIFA Women's Champions Cup. It's been a ride so far. Briefly, which way does this one go?
It has been a ride. If I had to guess in my gut, I think Arsenal are going to lift it tonight. They're going to put their names in history, and they'll lift it in front of all their home fans.
They've been there, they've done it before, they know what it's like to prove themselves on the biggest of stages. Can European domination then follow to the world for this Arsenal side? Let's find out, shall we? Your commentary team talking you through this one. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk is alongside Ellen Ellard.
Thank you, Caroline. The inaugural FIFA Women's Champions Cup final is here. 6 teams have been whittled down to 2, and the European giants Arsenal battle Brazilian heavyweights Corinthians for global glory. The first silverware of 2026 and $2 million on the line this evening in North London. It all comes down to this, and what an atmosphere has been building here at the Arsenal Stadium. René Sleggers makes 5 changes from the 6-0 semi-final victory. Annika Borba has her eyes set on another Champions Cup clean sheet. Lotte Wubben-Moy is the only defender who keeps her place in the back line. Captain Kim Little starts, as does Alessia Russo, who will have Champions League winning goalscorer Stina Blackstenius ahead of her, with Beth Mead and Olivia Smith to either side. Both England captain Leah Williamson and Netherlands #1 Daphne van Domsela are back on the bench. Taylor Hines misses out. Well, the global stage awaits, as does global glory. Katia Garcia, the Mexican referee tonight, her 7th year as a FIFA referee. Well, you can't kill their vibe. The smile on the face of Gabi Zanoc says it all, and 2 incredibly experienced captains tonight, and a look from the perspective of the referee, who in 2024 became the first woman in over 20 years to officiate a Liga MX match. There's a look at the FIFA VAR room. Tatiana Guzman overseeing the action from down underneath the Emirates Stadium today. Well, Lucas Piscinato's team are unchanged from the 1-0 win over Gotham FC. Goalkeeper Leticia started the 2023 Finalissima defeat to England. 38-year-old defender Tamiles provided the assist in midweek. Andressa Alves spent time at Barcelona with Mariona Caldente. Ana Vitória makes consecutive starts after returning from 7 years playing in Europe. And Gabi Zanoc said her goal was the moment that she's been waiting for a very long time. On the bench, keep your eyes out for last year's breakthrough star Johnson, who scored the decisive penalty in the Copa Libertadores final. Well, Renee Slagers, a big smile on her face. The opportunity today, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, is ever so great.
Yeah, it is, because one, it's about winning silverware, putting your name in history to win an inaugural competition, but also what it means in the context of confidence to go forward and then to try and keep going for the WSL for that 2nd place after results have gone their way today.
Well, you can hear the noise here at the Arsenal Stadium. No surprise, it is packed out with home fans. Can Corinthians silence the noise? It's been a party in the away end, as we'll call it today. So here we go, to be named FIFA's first intercontinental champions, and £1.7 million of prize money. The 2-time European champions Arsenal take on the South American champions Corinthians in this colossal clash. Emily Fox, one of the returning defenders in this usual look back line after the new look.
Interesting. There's a rendition, I think, of North London Forever going on. See, normally before Arsenal home games here, that gets played, but obviously with the difference in competition, that not to be the case today. But the Arsenal fans aren't letting that one go.
And you can understand why. They've made this place their fortress, particularly since Renee Slagers took over. Only 1 defeat at the Emirates Stadium since Renee Slagers took charge. That was against Lyon in the semi-final of the Champions League last season in the first leg. Here's McCabe, chips the ball up nicely. It's a good delivery. Smith is there, has a go. It's into a crowd of the orange shirts. Big chance. Swiped up by the goalkeeper. The pressure remains from Arsenal. Zanoc will clear it long. As far as Emily Fox, who heads it back down into the feet of Lotte Wubben-Moy, the only defender to remain in the back line after the new guard took charge in the semi-final victory.
Olivia Smith, when it comes to her on the 2nd phase of the corner, thought she might hit it first time, elects to take the touch and maybe just gives Corinthians the opportunity to then get the block in, and Caldente does ever so well actually to get the 2nd ball in, but great start from Arsenal right on the front foot.
Smith skipping away from Jules Fernandes. Here's McCabe. Arsenal looking to start quickly. Give another bite to the cherry here. It's McCabe. Headed into the path of Mead. Vittoria sends the ball out of play. Played in the early stages of this year's Women's Champions League. As an Atletico Madrid player. Caldente finds Wubben-Moy. Throws off the pressure. And Corinthians captain. Space opening up for McCabe. Smith scored in a semi-final victory. As well to keep the ball at her feet.
Fernandes does really well there, the way that she gets out to Olivia Smith quickly, and sometimes that's a bit of a danger because you leave that big gap in between the full-back and the centre-half, but everyone comes across quickly and they defend that well.
Catley. Rubenmoy. Away. Far too easy. Sampaio feeding it through. From Rubenmoy.
It's going to be an outlet. Keynote pace that she's got, was really impressed with her on Wednesday, but just doesn't get a touch right on that occasion. But if she can get that touch right out in front of her, and then eats up the grass, that pace she's got, it could cause a problem for that Arsenal defence.
Well, we saw how threatening Corinthians can be on the counter-attack in their 1-0 semi-final victory over Gotham.
I think especially centrally in that position where Aquino was at the time. Between Catley and Rubenmoy, not the fastest, so certainly is something that they can exploit, Corinthians.
Over the top from Mead, headed away from the path of Russo, scored twice after coming on as a sub. Has a big opening here. It's Russo, it's well saved.
I really thought that Alessia Russo might take that first time. Fox does ever so well to just poke that ball through. At this moment you're thinking 1-0 Arsenal. Tamirez, in all fairness to her, she gets caught initially but then sticks to task. She does enough just to put Alessia Russo off, I think. I mean, she's lucky she doesn't give away a penalty, actually, and looking at that, and Russo stays honest, wants to stay on the feet and get the shot off.
So the flag has gone up. And they're already in a very commanding position when Alessia Russo came on against Asfar. Able to add 2 to the tally. Fernandes, Sampaio, Vittoria there, chooses not to use it, out wide to Belen Aquino, Uruguay international, Zanoc ahead of her, Giacalini there as well, Zanoc, can't do anything with it, it's worthy for Arsenal though as they try and run the ball out of danger, and Catley can finally clear it.
Great ball, by the way, initially into Aquino. Nice flat, got all the pace on it, so she can run onto it and use that pace that I've been talking about. Not afraid either to try and beat a defender, which she does here. It's a decent ball in the box and just can't get hold of it. In the end, Corinthians, Zanoc there, the main one looking for it.
Continues to hold the central position, Gabi Zanoc. Dasha Alves has to battle her way through. Captain Kim Little gives it away to G. Fernandes. Here's Gabi Zanoc. Gabi Zanoc goes for goal, and it's into the Corinthians fans behind Annika Borba.
Why not? Because it opens up. Fernandes, you mentioned there, actually her run on the second phase here, so she lays it off and she keeps running. And it just then puts a bit of doubt and indecision in the mind of the defenders, which opens up half a yard for Zanoc there to get the shot off, and she certainly would have been hoping to do better with that and at least hit the target.
Well, they are bringing all the noise, the Corinthians fans.
We know Emirates, the Arsenal Stadium rather, is such a big plus for Arsenal when they're playing at home, but at that clock end, the Corinthians fans, they're making themselves known, there's no doubt about that.
Fernandes. Sampaio almost stretches, gets ahead to it. Nice Caldente, striding forward. It's almost just getting in the way of a teammate.
I don't really think Blackstone is there. Helps Caldente.
McCabe. As a substitute in the semi-final. Russo. Twisting and turning, gets clipped, ankle, and goes down and wins the free kick.
something that she's so clever with Alessia Russo, picking up the ball, getting on the turn quickly, always looking to cause a problem, face forward. See there, she stood on. And Dresser.
So Beth Mead stood over this. Lovely floating ball forward, punched away by Letizia.
Like that from the goalkeeper. No indecision in the mind there. She comes, and when she comes, she makes sure she gets the contact that's needed.
Caldente. McCabe. Galini. Fernandes picked up by Smith. Really coming to her own in an Arsenal shirt, Olivia Smith, since signing for £1 million over summer from Liverpool. Smith. McCabe. Catley. Jacqueline will chase, so will McCabe. Zanoch. Out, and well, you expected, considering what we saw on Wednesday, for Jacqueline to charge forward and really use her turn of pace well there.
Yeah, and I think if she gets that first touch across McCabe, it takes her out the game as well. And she mentioned then the pace that she's got. I was really expecting Corinthians there to drive forward, and big opportunity to catch Arsenal on the counter-attack, but maybe early on in this game just mindful of not getting caught out themselves, and maybe want to put too many bodies forward in that moment.
Smith. Catley. McCabe. So much of the play laying down this left-hand side. Smith. There's a corner. Plenty of targets for Beth Mead to aim at.
Interesting there, Caldente draws a player out, which leaves 3 on the edge of the box for Arsenal. Marked.
Has been played short. Caldente. Mead. McCabe. Back to Caldente. Back heel, it's Mead who passes the ball in. Watch though by the Corinthians defenders. And here is Aquino now. Doesn't have much in the way of support though. Against Fox, finds her way around. Headed out of the way by Kim Little. Rushing in was Gabby Zanoch.
Of course, it's Kim Little. We spoke about her before the game, and such a fantastic player. Her awareness there to snuff out the danger was excellent.
It's a good early possession for Arsenal. 56% of it. And you did feel, though, looking at the statistics from Corinthians' match with Gotham, that they would have to suffer with less of the possession.
I think that was always going to be the case, and there's been moments where they've shown Corinthians that they're looking to exploit. I do think they're almost biding their time a little bit to really flood bodies forward, to make sure that they're secure, because they don't want to get caught out early in the game, because we've seen the game against thus far Arsenal just about at this point. Actually, we're already 2-0 up.
Free flowing, free scoring. And Arsenal that we were used to seeing at the Arsenal Stadium around this time last year. It's an incredible run of scoring 3 or more goals at home towards the end of last season. It was just 1 goal that decided the Champions League final between them and Barcelona, and it was Stina Blackstenius who scored it. himself in a central position here. Russo just in behind. Caldente. Giacalini.
Impatient Arsenal. I expect nothing less professionalism from them. Yes, they were 2-0 up on Wednesday by this point, but you know that they keep doing the right things. They've got the ability to put the ball in the back of there, especially with the firepower that they've got on the pitch today.
Mead skims the chest of Fernandes. For a goal kick.
It's not a bad ball. Mead should be certainly asking questions there of why isn't there a teammate in the box gambling on that.
And goalkeeper Letitia, another player in this Corinthians squad who has European experience, spent time in Benfica before rejoining Corinthians in 2022. Zanoch. Dennis will be through here. Big save. Smith! It's excellent! And it's Olivia Smith again. Great build-up from Arsenal. And there, and waiting, was Olivia Smith for her second of the competition and to open the scoring in the final of the FIFA Women's Champions Cup.
Look at that, what a sight that is, the Arsenal Stadium. All those red and white scarves being flung in the air. It's a nice little build-up. You see what's trying to happen, but then I love the fact that Blackstenius, when this ball isn't inch perfect to her, she doesn't give it up. Now, should she do better on the finish? Probably. But I'm being ultra-critical because I've seen how clinical Arsenal were on Wednesday. But what I do love is the fact that Olivia Smith, she doesn't wait. She makes sure that she's backing it up just in case. That's what the best forwards do. You think about best-case scenario. Where should I be? If this doesn't go in the back of the net, where can I be to be the most helpful from a team? And it's not an easy finish, by the way, Olivia Smith. She keeps that down, hits the target. And look at that celebration.
Well, all the pressure paying off, and it is the red and white scarves that are swinging. Do you know what, Courtney? Despite Arsenal going a goal up in 15 minutes, it hasn't dampened the spirits of the Corinthians fans. If you look to one side when that goal was scored, you'd have seen them bouncing up and down. They weren't celebrating, but they want to keep the energy high for their team.
Yeah, that's brilliant, and that's what about this tournament, what it means to women's football, bringing different teams, different areas of the world together. Just see that foul there, but going back to what I was saying, it's important for the growth of the game, and certainly the Corinthians fans have certainly been one of the highlights of the tournament for me.
McCabe, Smith, the goal scorer. It's still Smith. Catley's there in support. Caldente, Smith. And they kept the pressure high, Arsenal. It paid off, the error from the Corinthians defender leading to the opener. Will we have a second here? It's Smith who keeps going. No one there, or is there? Well saved. Mead in an excellent position. All the hard work, though, done by Olivia Smith once again.
Yeah, she's on fire at the moment. She skips past players like they're not even there. Looks like she times her run to perfection. And this drops for Beth Mead. Probably should be someone going closer to that front post area, to be honest, to tap that in. But then Mead strikes this ever so well with a weaker foot. It's only equalled by the save from Letitia.
Dresser. Fox. It's a huge month ahead for Arsenal. Is Manchester City, the league leaders, here next week. And of course, today dismantled Chelsea. And any momentum they can take into that game, and they'll be desperate for it. And that's before the Women's Champions League knockout phase playoffs with OH Leuven. And a FA Cup 5th round tie in there as well.
Momentum's so important in football, and whether it's cup games, this tournament, the league, winning is a habit. Whichever way you do it, it's a habit.
Heavy touch from Blackstenius. Russo was there, but the power on the touch just taking it away from the English forward.
Build-up was so nice as well. Ball inside from McCabe, and you see what Blackstenius wants to do on one touch. Just needs to cushion that. That's more of it. She's almost passing it, whereas that's sort of, because the pace is on the ball, you just need to cushion it into the path of Russo.
Letizia. No distribution, and it will be a Arsenal throw. Catley has had to step up her leadership role this season. And at times, both Kim Little and Leah Williamson missing. Sampaio picks the ball up, and it's Giacalini striding forward. Catley getting back into position. Giacalini plays it across. Zanoc swipes at it.
She's under pressure though, isn't she, from guess who? Kim Little working back.
Vitoria. Sampaio goes for goal! Oh, what a save! Incredible from Annika Borba.
Oh, word. I was not expecting that to rifle off the boot the way it did. What a save from Borba. I wasn't expecting it, but the goalkeeper was. Reacts ever so well to fingertips of that to push it onto the bar.
Summer signing for Wolfsburg, who's had to step up. Daphne van Domsela injured, making a huge save. In comes the corner from Corinthians. Oh, another big save! And it's forced over the line. No, not just yet. And now it's given. And Corinthians are level. A scrappy goal, but it doesn't matter. The celebrations are wild.
Well, it was scrappy, but it doesn't matter. They all count. But that for a celebration. Loving their moment, Corinthians and the fans alike. And I think initially we'll see Zanoc that gets the head on it, comes off Catley and it goes in then. But Aquino makes 100% sure with the follow-up. They'll be fighting over whose goal it actually was. They'll find out a little bit later on.
Well, it's gone down, at least for now, as a Steph Catley own goal. Well, she didn't know much about it, did she? It's come off her shoulder. Borba was leaning back. She hasn't been able to parry it out to the goal in time. And actually now, just on the system in front of us, it's been changed to a Zanoc goal. Yeah. So that would be 2 in 2 for the 40-year-old Gabby Zanoc.
Yeah, I think it would be strange to give it to Catley, because I know that she gets the last touch, but it was on target, the initial header, so that's why it will be given to Zanoc. That's what she brings, the experience, the willingness. She's just a natural-born goal scorer.
Well, she said, Gabby Zanoc, this week, that her goal to send Corinthians into this final was a moment she's been waiting for a very long time. Now, I think we're all intrigued to see and hear what she'll say after this game. Fox stinging the palms of Letizia as we are all level in the final of the inaugural FIFA Women's Champions Cup.
Fair credit to Corinthians. Could easily will here at the Arsenal Stadium. They go a goal down early. And you might think that's it, but no, the mentality, the character within the squad, they get back into it so quickly.
Well, they've been the entertainers. Provided a great watch so far. Aquino. Managed to stay down here.
I think it's unfortunate. Ruben Moy gets the initial touch. I think it's the way she either plants her foot or lands there. You know, get a better look at it. This is what I mentioned. This is where they can exploit pace in behind. She does get a toe to it. It's to do with the follow through. Not a foul, but I think it's just an awkward landing for Aquino more than anything.
A brief handshake between the two players. And we will be back underway with a Corinthians throw. I'll talk about in response to going a goal down. Lucas Piscinato saying this is the biggest game in the club's history. And they have showed up, indeed like it is. A big fan base here in England and particularly in London. And they've been mobilising the fans over the course of the last week in particular. And it's been played to such a big advantage for the Brazilian Giants. Here's Russo, goes down. Well, the Arsenal fans have something to say about that.
Don't mind that. I think it's just shoulder-to-shoulder contact from Victoria.
Ruben Moy. Little. If anyone knows how to inspire Arsenal, it is Kim Little. Fundamental in their Champions League win. Little. The intention was right, the execution not quite.
I mean, even if the weight of that little touch around the corner from Stennis was right, I actually don't think Alessia Russo was reading it. She was on the edge of the box still.
Andressa Miller's provided the assist for Gabi Zanocci's winner against Gotham. Russo, Little. Physical battle, and it's one that goes the way of the European champions.
The noise Corinthian fans are making at the moment at the clock end. Absolutely brilliant from them.
You can't stare too much into that moving mass of Corinthians fans because it probably will hypnotise you. They are bouncing around. It really is quite the sight. Mead, lovely delivery, headed down, no one there to pick it up. Chief-Fernand for Corinthians. As McCabe gets caught. And the Arsenal players want something and they'll get a free kick here. And it looks like it will be just a warning for Andressa Alves.
I think there's a genuine attempt to make the ball. She doesn't get it. Don't get me wrong, but there's no malice in it. That won't help Katie McCabe in this moment because you see the way she comes across, her catches up. Lower knee on the shin, and painful ones those, but tough as nails to be fair, McCabe. She won't let that stop her.
No, made of harder stuff, Katie McCabe. And she's alongside Beth Mead, two players who have had plenty of speculation, noise around their future in the last couple of weeks, in particular as the transfer window begins to draw to its conclusion. McCabe, put it away. They do so well at those initial clearances, Corinthians. Lovely ball over the top from Caldente. It's Russo. Blackstenius was there. Smith trying to charge her way through. I think she's injured herself in the process. She's hobbling, but trying to run back into the game.
The run, the touch and the turn by Blackstenius in that little phase was absolutely immaculate.
Fox. Little urged on. Catley. Smith. Caldente. Caldente into space. Scored from the spot in the semi-final. Couldn't make that one nestle.
It's going to be difficult for her, bobbling around. There's a lot of bodies to try and get that ball past Ideal World. You want to strike that hard and low, but she has to go higher to pass the bodies in front of her, and it's a square one for Renee Slagers now, isn't it?
She knew how challenging an opponent Corinthians would be. And it's been a thrilling almost half hour so far.
And the fact that we've looked round and nearly 30 minutes is on the clock says it all. It's absolutely flown by. The momentum shifted at times. The tempo's been really high, and both teams have been excellent so far.
Well, this is what you want from FIFA's first intercontinental final. Competition that started back in October and is building up until this point, where 6 became 2. Fernandes. Slip. As Blackstenius works her way free. Mead to one side. Russo arriving centrally. It's Alessia Russo. It's laid off to Blackstenius! And it's deflected out for a corner.
It's another vital slip, isn't it, for Tellez? It just the wrong time that Blackstenius in. Gets to this point. It's a little interplay's nice, isn't it? That touch off from Alessia Russo. Look at the reaction on the block. Look at how much they're valuing this. Corinthians, brilliant from Andressa.
We're just having a word with Giacolini and Blackstenius. And taken short once again. Caldente. McCabe. Underway, Russo to chase. 30 minutes played. Arsenal 1, Corinthians 1. And the inaugural FIFA Women's Champions Cup final. There's Little. Catley. Smith. It's opening up once again. It's Smith! Going for the corner.
Quite get that right. I think she's aiming for that bottom right-hand corner. And then hoping either it goes in the back of the net or someone can get a touch on it. But you see, she just then drags it the last minute.
Mead. McCabe. Delivery. Can't quite get it right with Kubamoy. Smith. And the flag now does go up.
I thought there might be an element of offside, but at the time, Leticia wasn't to know. Does well to come and command the area. It's interesting, isn't it? Is this, call me a cynic, is this just a moment for Corinthians to grab their breath and hold the momentum?
Well, if I remember correctly, we did have a similar situation in the semi-final. Can't see any Corinthians players warming up. It is the Arsenal duo, if I believe Chloe Kelly and I think Leah Williamson down there warming up. That's the only two. No movement as of yet on the Corinthians bench. Leticia is receiving treatment.
Well, that's the lead up to the goal, isn't it? To the corner. It was a brilliant save initially by Borba. led to the corner. There's not much she can do about that. Proof that well crossed the line before Aquino made it cross the line for a second time.
Well, it's great to have the technology in place in this tournament, so it hasn't been in doubt. We've had 2 now, both of Arsenal's games. Of course, 1 for Arsenal and now 1 for Corinthians, where there has been some debate, but all cleared up by goal line technology. And of course, great to have the connected ball technology as well. So back to her feet, Letitia. Just a Chloe Kelly penalty in the finalissima. Will we see Chloe Kelly in action tonight? Well, Arsenal fans will certainly hope so.
Got a wonderful ovation, didn't she, at Brentford? She came onto the pitch and much loved by the Arsenal faithful.
And of course, it's not just the goal-scoring momentum that they'll be hoping to take into the WSL when they return next week against Manchester City, but also having the players back on the pitch, the likes of Williamson, Kelly, Van Domselaar maybe nearing a return, although would you want to take Daphne Van Domselaar out from between the sticks with the momentum that she's had recently?
It's a great point you make, Ellen, in terms of those 2 goalkeepers actually now, because I think for me personally, it's been a weak spot for Arsenal through the last decade or so at times, and with the number 1, let alone the depth, and now you've got 2 very, very good number 1s fighting for 1 place, and certainly interesting to see what happens going forward when Van Domselaar is fully fit again.
Blackstenius.
Blackstenius is being really clever. She can sense the danger and the nervousness, I think, in Tellez. Few times now she's ball's going down the side of her, she's not quite aware, or she's making mistakes, and that's what you've got to do sometimes as a forward. You sense that and you play on that. Not looking the most comfortable, Tellez.
It's Katie McCabe who's over in the corner to take this corner kick, and the fans on that side of the stadium making their love for her known. Lots of speculation around the future of the fullback position in particular with Arsenal over the last week. And taken short once again. Mead. It's lovely from Mead! Big chance! Well saved by Letitia.
It's a great save, isn't it? The reaction. I think the final touch comes off Catley. Oh no, it's Blackstenius. Beg my pardon. I know it's straight at the goalkeeper, but still making sure she's getting that positioning right. And then it's about the second phase, isn't it? How quickly can you recapture that ball and keep it safe? And Letitia does that ever so well.
Scored twice after coming on as a sub, Alessia Russo in the semi-final. 6 of her 11 goals in all competitions have come in continental competitions this season in the Women's Champions League.
Sleeves is still tinkering at times, isn't she, with whether you play one or the other or both together, and it's an interesting one. I don't think always both together always works, because you lose something from either of them. But then they're so good, both of them, that you want to try and fit them on the pitch somehow.
Well, it's excellent from Olivia Smith. Blackstenius then sends it across to Fox. Arsenal charging forward. It's Fox. Almost falls for Mead. Little's there as well. And Corinthians clear it long. Well, it's that resilience that we've spoken about so many times when it comes to Olivia Smith, and once again it's on show tonight, Courtney.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, a wonderful footballer. But she has to be resilient, because she gets kicked up in the air every single game, because that's the only way a lot of the time that defenders can stop her. But she doesn't let that get in her head, and sometimes you almost have to take that as a forward player as a compliment, to think, well, if that's the only thing that they can do to me, then I must be doing something right.
She spoke about her mentality after being sent off against Manchester United. Arsenal were knocked out of the League Cup at the semi-final stage. She's a young player who has plenty of resilience about her. And it doesn't always pay off for her. Plenty of times where she could go down. But opts to stay on her feet. Try and fashion a chance for her team. Here's Fox. Placement once again. Picked up by Little. And waved away by the referee, much to the distaste of the Arsenal fans.
Well, not suffering fools gladly, Corinthians, no doubt about that. Any 50-50. They seem to be battling so hard to try and win it, and not necessarily coming out the better all the time, but you can see physical battle. They're absolutely relishing it.
Caldente. Mead to Caldente. Cave is there to clean up against Giacalini. Mead. Caldente. Fox. For Moy. Cave. Little. It's Kim Little. Blackstenius! On the turn. But unlike Frida Leonardson-Warnham in midweek, this time it doesn't stick.
Kim Little's so clever here. Well, now she uses her body to let the ball come across her, and then that just little touch outside of the right foot into the path of Blackstenius. You see exactly what she's trying to do, but she's not got the whip and the curl on the ball to bring it back inside the post.
In second place, Manchester United fighting to secure a second consecutive European campaign. They're back in action on Saturday in the WSL, where they travel to Leicester City. Coverage of that one starts 11:30 on Sky Sports Football before the main event on Sunday. And our focus is the league leaders Manchester City here at the Emirates Stadium against Arsenal. And we will have our first yellow card of the game going the way of Gilles Fernandes.
It was already a tough ask to defend against Olivia Smith, but now she's having to do it on a yellow card. It gets that much harder, and it's very, very obvious that one, the pullback.
So another free kick in a dangerous area for Arsenal. Okay, stood over it once again. It's McCabe. Great positioning. And a whistle blown by the referee, Katia Garcia.
She's seen a foul. The flag didn't go up on the far side, so I think it's for an offside. It must be something she's seen in the box.
Well, it's a busy weekend of WSL action. Liverpool travel to Aston Villa. That's on Sunday, midday kickoff on Sky Sports Plus, which is also where you'll find New York West Ham up against Brighton. And London City Lionesses, as Arsenal try and find a way forward once again, who are hosting Everton, fresh off Everton's first home win of the season. That's on Sky Sports Plus, with all the build-up starting at 11 a.m. Catley. Caldente. Well, they've had the better of the chances in this first half. Arsenal 5 on target, just 1 goal. There's the ratio for Corinthians, 2 shots on target, 1 goal, and it's all level here at the Arsenal Stadium.
For them now, it's a case of getting in Corinthians at half-time with the scoreline level. You've seen now, since the goal, they've gone deeper and deeper back into their own half. Some of that is because of the reaction from Arsenal. We mentioned it, they're going to have to suffer. There will be long periods of this game where they won't touch the ball, where they won't get into the Arsenal half. But if they concentrated, keep that mentality. They know that they've got the ability on the break to cause problems, but it's almost about chunking it up, and the next chunk, as I say, is to get into half-time like this, and then they can rebuild again in the second half.
Caldente.
She arrives well there. Alessia Russo. It's one of her best qualities, in my opinion, the timing of her arrival, but there just gets too much on it. Needs to be more of a flick on.
Russo. Little, that's our captain, finds Fox. Catley. Rain continuing to pour down here at the Arsenal Stadium. Fox. Still Emily Fox keeps driving. Good delivery, big chance. Almost a second for Olivia Smith. Couldn't quite get the ball from under her feet.
I think it's a little bit behind her as well, and I don't know whether takes a flick on the way through, but she gambles on it nonetheless. See that movement from Russo. There's a touch on that on the way through that takes it away from Olivia Smith. She was in the right place though.
Well, they've said, Arsenal, that they're playing for the silverware, not for the money. When the money gets you a player like Olivia Smith, certainly it's worth gunning for. Caldente. Russo. It's Alessia Russo. Fox. Mead now. Edge to shoot, and she does, and it's fumbled by the goalkeeper, but waiting there was Leticia Tellez to ensure that no one could turn home the follow-up.
You see there, Mead frustrated with herself. They do ever so well, Arsenal, to move this quickly. Gets the shot off well, cuts inside. Say that Tamirez, I'll be honest, has to do a little bit better there. Effectively showing Mead inside towards goal, which is not what you want.
Mead. 2 additional minutes at the end of this first half, all level. Can either team find the breakthrough before the break?
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes additional time.
Smith. Try and pick it up again. Fernandes gets there, and it's been given as a corner.
Every time Olivia Smith gets that ball, I'm a little bit nervous. Fernandes won't lie, does well there in all fairness, she gets the toe on the ball, but in these moments you see straight away hands up in the air because she thinks, I don't want to be anywhere near a foul to get that second yellow and get sent off.
Only player on the pitch to have a booking, Jean Fernandes. Mead. Caldente. Play it short once again, that's the trend of this game for Arsenal. Mead. McCabe. A miscommunication from Arsenal. Can Corinthians capitalise? It's a tricky pitch to play on, and the Brazilians are certainly feeling that.
It's a tricky pitch, but it also helps you to slide like we just saw there and come out with the ball. Absolutely love it.
These your conditions, Courtney?
Yeah, I used to love playing in these type of conditions and getting stuck in, and especially for a forward as well, when you're thinking about getting shots off. Obviously it helps you, and then you're hoping that the keeper drops one as well, that they're struggling with it. I used to love a tap-in, so that was a bit of me.
Well, if you scroll your way through the Corinthian players' Instagrams over the course of the last week since they arrived in London, the main similarity with the captions is they're all about the weather and their distaste for it. Sampaio sends the ball forward, headed away by Lotte Wubben-Moy. Sampaio. And that will be the last touch of the first half, and what a first half we have had in the inaugural FIFA Champions Cup final. All level as the players head in for the break. Gabby Zanoc levelling out the scoreline, her second goal of the competition. After Olivia Smith kicked things off, she's had plenty of chances following her opener, who will be getting their hands on the trophy. Half-time here at the Arsenal Stadium. Arsenal 1, Corinthians 1.
How can you not love this? Proper weather, proper football. What a game on our hands. Rosella Ann with me, and it all looked to be going well for Arsenal first off. Olivia Smith with their first goal, fast start from them, and this was everything they could have hoped for.
Exactly. Very, as you said, very fast start from Arsenal. Great save originally from the goalkeeper, but Olivia Smith reacted quickest and put it in the back of the net, and that's, you know, how you want to start a final.
They didn't seem to be overawed at all. We wondered how they'd cope with the changes, 5 changes coming into this, and they looked fluid.
They do, yeah, they look really fluid, and, you know, I think from my opinion, you can tell that this is a final. Both teams have come at it, and you can tell that both teams really want to win.
Then this from Corinthians, it was Duda with a chance, well tipped over, and from the subsequent corner, Arsenal were undone. But this was just Corinthians staying with Arsenal, and this was over first time, let alone second time.
Yeah, I think originally, you know, the goalkeeper would maybe do a little bit better in that situation, but again, like what happened in the other box, Corinthians reacted quickest and they put it in the back of the net. Great decision from the refs there. The ball's clearly over the line, and they're back in the game.
The celebrations was something that I think we're still feeling from the crowd to the bench. They enjoyed that moment. And from that time forward, you thought that they would get that momentum back, but Arsenal had plenty of chances.
Yeah, Arsenal are creating a lot at the moment. You know, they're coming off the back of a win in the WSL at the weekend and then putting 6 past Asfar on Wednesday. As I said, they're creating a lot, and, you know, eventually one of these chances are going to go in, but creating chances is the best thing that Arsenal can do at the moment. Hopefully they can convert one of these in the second half.
So as it stands coming out for the second half, it'd stick with as is for Arsenal?
I mean, I think so, but, you know, as I said, I think Corinthians have come at it and they're here to play and to win, and you can tell that by how they've started the game. And, you know, now I'm not too sure, but if I had to guess, I think it would be Arsenal.
With Alessia Russo in that second, I mean, she does so much work off and around that goal area. Do you want to see a bit more from her?
Yeah, for sure. As I said at the beginning, I think she's a world-class striker, and she can do a little bit more. But the thing is with Alessia Russo, she creates opportunities by her movement, space that she creates for other players, and people don't necessarily notice that. But, you know, I think she'll grow into the game, and she's a danger.
To be fair, the quickest they've all moved was getting off for half-time as it teams down again here at the Arsenal Stadium. We're not going to talk about the weather anymore. All right, we might. But what we might talk about is raining goals, fingers crossed, in the second half.